Alright guys and girls, Dale, Crash King RC. I built all the shocks pretty much last night, 3 of them, you know, that's all of them. But anywho, I left one. Something kind of important in my opinion if you're doing work like this, especially the smaller stuff. Get you one of them magnetic trays or some kind of tray that holds everything. Makes it a lot easier on you. Shocks are simple. There is an O-ring goes in the bottom. There is also a little tiny hard plastic O-ring that comes off of one of the parch trees that goes in there as well. You have to make sure when you put that in there, you actually trim that really well. Make sure there isn't no real rough edges. I don't know why, other than it is a tight fit, so it kind of pushes on the exterior of the housing, which is going to obviously oblong that little washer. So I guess I do know why. But that is that. Put them two O-ring, the washer, O-ring, then your cap. That's your seal for your shock. Keep your shock oil in there. Here's the sucky part. These little tiny E-clips are so much fun. Now, normally, I do pretty good with them, but I'm recording, so I'm sure I'm going to do really bad with them. But I can tell you that they are so tiny, if you screw up, one of those pop off there, they will take off on you, which sucks. E-clip, over top of the E-clip goes a little hexed part. It comes on your parch tree, and my lazy hind end did not trim that one last night. These aren't as particular. They do have a little bit of room to move, but I do not like those big chunks of plastic just hanging there. All I'm doing is taking my razor blade and trimming the edge of that off. But once that's done, cleaned up, put that on right there. Then there is one more E-clip. Monsters. So big you can't even tell you pick them up. Lick your fingers a little bit. Stick right to it. Same thing there. Now I use needle nose pliers. I like to use sorry, I'm concentrating. I like to try to use the tweezers. I have a set of really heavy tweezers, but when I go crawling, I pack them up with me in my kit they come in. So they're in my bag, which is buried behind me, but I'm too lazy to go pick it up. Oops. Now this is another thing that just me, I don't know if anybody else does this, but you are running through 2 O-rings. So I put just a little bit of oil on the tip of that. You know, a little lubrication goes a long ways. Find the hole. So terrible. Pull that through there. On the parch tree as well is an end for your shock. Now, these are always fun to get started. They will sometimes look like they're crooked as a dog's hind leg. Not a big deal. I come down close to the thread with a pair of pliers. Make sure I grip it good and tight, and that way it doesn't spin. That little bit of mooring, if you get any, it's really insignificant. So now if you get some heavy mooring, you need to clean it up, but as long as you don't get no heavy mooring. And that one actually spun on me. Okay. Alright, no mooring. Alright, that is full extension. Now, the way I do this, and it makes it easiest, and they actually normally function, is I'll actually take that shock and move it up 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. Then when I fill the body up and I pump it a couple times, and it's full, not overfull. Because if you overfill them, they will not compress. This is your shock cap, the top of your shock. I am kind of disappointed in the fact these are complete plastic bodies. I would have thought that they would have at least used an aluminum body. But I mean, for the price of this kit, this is the the scx10 2 builder's kit. Sorry I didn't mention that in the beginning. But anywho, it is a really good price. You can get this right around $200. Once you put the O-ring in there, and that's like everywhere you can get it for $200. I have a hobby shop that takes really good care of me. I don't spend a lot of money with him, but I used to get bonuses through work here and there, and when I did, I normally went and bought an RC car. So he knows me pretty well. I pulled that shock all the way down to get the oil to come down below the thing, and I'll run her up and down a couple times, pull her back down. That one is actually a good bit low, so I will bring it up just a little bit higher. Now I leave that down a little bit, and the reason I do that is because I'm falling asleep here and screwed up. You got to put this adjuster nut on there. If not, your spring will not stay on where the shoot and hoot, and it will, you won't be able to adjust it to get you height or load or anything. So once you've got that full to where you think it needs to be, put the shock together, crank that sucker down. Okay, I've got just a little bit of resistance at the top edge, but it is coming up good. So that's that. There is a imitation reservoir in the bag of the shock kit. Comes these little tiny screws. Just goes in this part of the tree. It's an expansion chamber, imitation. Put a little screw in there like that, and not get the job done right. There we go. Man, I forgot to trim all this stuff last night. I thought, well, I'll trim it in the morning when I'm awake. But there's that. Once that's assembled, you can do that before, you can do it after, it doesn't matter. The springs are two different springs. I don't know how much of a difference as far as, honestly, but the yellow ones are what they consider the fronts, I'm pretty sure. No, I just told you, yeah, I told you right. Yellow front, white rear. They just got a little white paint or a little yellow paint. So once that's on, seat this back onto there. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. Those are done. Something I did forget to do on your parts tree. These little dudes, they're your hind joint pivot points. I guess, I don't know, on the shock they still consider it a hind joint, but I'm going to. If I'm wrong, you can, send me a letter and send me an email, smoke signals, whatever, because I can't use my phone to make the call. It'll die. That's such horrible service. It took about 4.5, 5 hours last night to load my first video of the Axails. So, very, very annoying. And I have Wi-Fi. Alright, those little dudes, I put them in there. Most of your joints, they'll fit pretty easy. But when it comes to the knuckles here on your shock, they do fit a little tight. Now these down here, doesn't really matter. The top ones though, if I put this to the inside, then I'll kind of put it to the outside, I guess you would really say. But once it's mounted on the truck, it'll be double inside. I do try to line that up. Like I said, guys, I know these, I've watched enough of these videos myself, and they're not always like, okay guys, I know this, but there might be somebody out there who doesn't know, or there might be something I do different, and you want to question me, or tell me that I'm ate up in the head. That's fine too. Criticism's criticism. And a little trim in there. Try to cut my thumb off. That's cool. It's alright. I got another one. For some reason, missed all those little pieces. Not that that's a big deal, but again, trim all them up. Don't have to. It's going to be more looks. It's not affecting anything. It's not going to get into it. Alright. There are all 4 shocks. I'm going to say complete, then I'm going to look them over and make sure. All 4 shocks complete. Looks like I got 2. Oops. And 2 matching. So I'm going to put these actually in the box, because it does not show you to put them on yet. And while I'm doing a build like this, I will put my parts in the box until I'm done. It looks like everything I need for this next step, which is a transmission, is in bag D. I'm not going to do this part of this just because I took so long to build one flipping shock. But I'm going to pull this plastics out of the bag. Now, I was looking at this before I pulled it out of the bag. This is the new style transmission for the Axail. And I will say that the thickness of this material is phenomenal. I mean, this case is not metal, but my goodness, it is thick, heavy material. So I do believe this transmission casing is going to hold up, as long as the gears, which I haven't looked at yet, so I'll just go give them a look at. And then I'll start another video hopefully soon on building the transmission. Looks like we got a lot of metal here, but I am seeing plastic spur gear. So, but that's cool. Sometimes a little plastic is good. It gives you something to break before you destroy something massive. But like I said, I did want to show you guys how much heavier this case is. I wished I had one of the old cases. I do down there in my box, but it'd take me 30 minutes to get it. So let's see if I can find one real quick. Alright. Size-wise, it is really dang near. It is a little bit bigger, not much. If I had to guess, I'm talking, millimeters. Now the output shaft hole is a lot bigger, so that means that bearing there must be a lot bigger. But I'm going to take this piece off. This has got all the gears in it. No, it doesn't. This is the one I'm missing, the center gear. This center gear here is plastic, and I busted this one. This is actually just a spare case. But with this mostly together with the slipper assembly on it, a metal plate on the front, it is still lighter than this. So this body is going to hold up good, I believe, as far as transmission bodies go. I've never broke a tranny body. Don't know that. I'm sure somebody has. I'm sure one's come apart. I have grooved one where a bearing went sour. But anywho, that's it. I'm going to get some stuff cleaned up. Maybe get started on the transmission today, maybe not. Like always, like, click, subscribe. If not, that's cool as well. Comment if you want to. And until next time, which for me may not be very long, but for you may be a minute, enjoy. Get out and enjoy your hobbies. Watch some videos and then go enjoy a hobby. Try not to make your hobby sitting and watching videos. Unless, you can't get outside, then, hey, I understand. At least try to find some that are cool and enjoy yourself. Thanks again, all. Have a good one.